This is Sports Charlotte, the podcast about sports in Charlotte. My name is Herb White. I'm editor-in-chief of the Charlotte Post. This is Cameron Williams, who is staff reporter at the Post. It's Thursday, October 2nd, 2025. And there's college football to be played this weekend involving Charlotte teams, starting Friday, as a matter of fact, with the Charlotte 49ers taking a trip to Florida for an American Conference game. And the bad news just keeps on coming for the 49ers.
Shall I?
You shall.
Tee off time, chaps. Oh, boy. Where do I begin with this team? Bad news, as you mentioned. Connor Harrell out for the year. Coach Tim Albin said that on his weekly radio bit with WFNZ Monday, I believe, because Tuesday we had our media availability with him. That was the most, I don't want to say interesting. Interesting, probably not the right adjective, but subdued press conference I've seen in quite some time. It was almost like Albin had mixed emotions of whether, because as a coach, you always want to seem a little jovial, optimistic, just I didn't get that sense at all. Look, South Florida is a very good football team. They beat Boise State when they were underdogs. They beat Florida when they were underdogs. Yes, they had the bad loss to Miami, but, Miami's a top 5 team in the country. Is it a bad loss? Maybe the amount of points they lost by, maybe. But given that it was a 17.5-point spread and, they got beat by almost 30, yeah, it was a pretty bad beat there. But look, it's Miami. Miami's very good for a reason. I don't see any possible. I know I said this before the Rice game, but this one is even worse. I said I didn't think there was a route to victory against Rice, and I don't think there's a route to victory here. 28. Well, it opened at 26.5. It is going up to 28.5 point favorites that South Florida is. That tells you one thing. The money's coming in on the Bulls.
Yeah.
Look, and without Connor Harrell, who was, and I hate it for the kid himself, just because he had finally started to seem comfortable, competent in the offense. He was doing things the right way, and he gets hurt. And now it's on the shoulders of Grayson Loftus, the Duke transfer. Not saying that Loftus isn't capable of leading the offense, but it is just such a buzzkill, if you will, to have a quarterback that's finally doing the right things week in and week out, and now it's basically starting over from the ground level, and you're having to build that trust and build that confidence in another quarterback. And for it to have happened going into USF week, yikes.
Yeah, you need all your best available talent when you take on a team like USF. Not to say that they were going to be a threat to USF.
Even with Harrell, yeah.
But now you not only don't have his physical presence, now there's also that emotional void that happens when you take out your leader on the field. And it's just a devastating occurrence for Charlotte, because I thought that he was doing what he does best when he was injured. He was on the run, scrambling for a first down, and down he goes. And that's the end of the season for him. And I would imagine some people might say, well, that's why you don't encourage quarterbacks to run. But if that is the personality and the skill set that this individual has, you'd be nuts not to use them to the fullest extent. Mm-hmm. So I hate it for Connor. I think Grayson now has an opportunity, And from what everybody was saying during preseason, it was close in terms of that competition.
You thought it was going to be Grayson. I said
I sure did. But there are two different types of quarterbacks, and now you have to scheme up understanding those differences. Mm-hmm. And will it be enough?
No, I mean, it was interesting to hear from Albin that, you know, they use all this technology now in the college and even the pro game. I mean, I've seen high schoolers wearing these things. They're like vests that, you know, it's like a GPS thing where it tracks various metrics, speed, heart rate, just different things. And straight line speed, Grayson was actually the fastest out of all three quarterbacks. And that was shocking to me. And I know the overarching term speed means a lot of different things. It can mean lateral quickness. It can mean straight line speed. It can mean a whole gamut of things. So while Connor is maybe the faster overall player, I think if you get in a foot race and you're going downhill and assuming the turf monster don't get you, Grayson could burn some people. Now are they going to line up? It was funny. Tim said that, you know, we're not going to line up and play, you know, quarterback lead draw or anything like that. But he's like, there will be some plays that, you know, Todd Fitch-Dosey can call up for Grayson if he needs to get out and run with it. And so while they may be more, you know, pocket centric in their offense now, I'm not going to rule out, you know, Grayson going out there and rushing for maybe 30, 40 yards. I don't think he's incapable of doing that. Against South Florida, it might be a little bit tougher. I know South Florida's defense, other than the one game to Miami, has played really, really well. The biggest key in this game is going to be stopping their quarterback. Byron Brown, man, that dude is just different. He's accurate with the ball. He can make any throw you ask him to. But he is also a daggum bowling ball running downhill. He runs people over. I saw in that Boise State game to open the year. I mean, he'll just lower his head and truck you. A lot of times you see quarterbacks be a little timid, you know, at the point of contact. This dude don't care. He runs like Cam used to run. Cam Newton used to run for the Panthers. Straight downhill, run through a guy's face.
Yeah.
There's a phrase for that, but this is a PG program. He'll run through your face. Mm-hmm. And so unless they're able to stop that at a consistent rate, I don't see any way that Charlotte keeps these guys under 45 points.
Yipes. So you're expecting ugly.
45 to like 17 maybe. If it gets that high, I see USF covering. I'll just say it that way.
Yeah. So you don't see a path where the 49ers can win. Is there a path to at least being competitive?
Possibly. I mean, I said 45 to 17. Look, that is 28 points. So depending on what book you're on, I mean, if it's still at 27.5, that's covering. But if it's at 28.5, I mean, 45 to 17, as bad as it sounds, covers the 28.5 point spread. So in terms of being competitive, most of the times, well, at least in the sports gambling world, competitive is covering the spread.
Well, but I'm talking
You're talking about
literally.
Actually really close?
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Okay.
And I mean, look, I get pegged as the Debbie Downer, but I'm not being a Debbie Downer when it comes to this. I'm just a realist. I've tried to, in the past, be the cheerleader and the parader of all things 49ers, and that ain't got me nowhere. I just spit facts. Mm-hmm. This team has not proven to be very good yet. The injuries are racked up. Yes. No Henry Rutledge also for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
I know in private conversations we had talked earlier, I had a source tell me that he overheard someone close to Tim say that he was out for the year. And this was before it was even announced that he was contemplating surgery. So I got good sources.
Yeah, that helps.
But look, it's going to be running back by committee again. Rod Gainey, CJ Stokes, Cameron Smith. It's tough. It is tough to watch this team week in and week out, knowing the talent that was once on the roster, and you lose arguably who he could have been one of your best players. His name's escaping me right now. Kid from Louisville. Do you remember his name?
Nope.
Okay. Don Chaney. Thank you. Oh, man, my brain was tooting there for a second. But you lose him to eligibility issues, and now it's like, okay. Now we got Henry Rutledge. We're still good. He gets hurt. Okay, let's play the sophomore. Rod Gainey, I'm going to give him his props. He's done very well in the absence of Chaney not being on the roster, and then the injuries to Henry. But it's tough sledding, and now you lose your quarterback who had just found his footing in the offense. I guess Vegas knew what they were doing, setting the win total at over under 2.5. Because just looking through some of the rest of their schedule, you got UTSA on there, Georgia.
Yeah,
you're getting paid a nice paycheck to play that game, but
there's anybody left.
The ESPN analytics actually gave Charlotte a 1% chance. 99% Georgia to 1% Charlotte. I guess.
Yeah.
Like that.
Like that. There's no such thing as deadbolt lock.
Yeah, there's not, but it's like that Jim Carrey meme from the movie Dumb and Dumber. So you're telling me there's a chance? No, there's very, 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 very minuscule chance. Look, I think that's going to be that way this week. You could get Temple. I know we talked about Army,
East Carolina,
give or take, and I actually may go to that game. It is a rivalry game. Charlotte is undefeated in that rivalry, if you want to call it that. And so I think about at least traveling to that game. I ain't bothering with Georgia. As cool as it would be to cover a game at Georgia Stadium, that ain't worth the gas.
Well, it's only a 3-hour trip.
It's the same to East.
Yeah.
At least that game may be more competitive.
Well, either way, there'll be a party going on, whether it's at East Carolina or at Sanford Stadium. So it's like, yeah. Either way, but I think that the 49ers are just, it's a feeling out year now. It's just who can play and who will stay, for 2026. And I don't think there's any doubt that there's going to be some major overhaul to this program in year 2. And so maybe now the thinking process changes to where are the ballers, concentrate on keeping them in the fold, replacing everything else, and work your way out.
Fair enough. Well, now that we're all depressed, let's get to some...
Well, don't be depressed. It is what it is. It's not good. And I think that Tim Alvin would probably be the first one to tell you it is not good.
Yeah.
Even though he may put it in kinder, more polite terminology, but it's not good.
No, it's not a great product. But let's shift gears to some positive football.
Or at least winning.
Winning is positive.
Yeah.
After getting 18 points, ain't necessarily a shellac, but after getting beat 28-10 by Virginia Union, poor Bluefield State had to be the opponent after a Golden Bulls loss, 69-13.
Yeah, it was.
Tell me about it. You were there.
Yeah, it was pretty ugly. Actually, Bluefield State was within 14-6 early in the second quarter, and then the wheels came off for the Big Blue, or maybe it was just that Smith woke up, and they defensively tossed on the clamps, and from there it was homecoming party for everybody except for the Big Blue.
Yeah.
They just were dominant all over the field. They offense, defense, special teams, you name it, Smith ran it. And Bobby Smith, the redshirt freshman running back, scored 3 touchdowns, 2 on the ground.
How about my man Isaiah Lackey, the one that I did the story on from Hickory? Hey, look, I know it's Bluefield State, but 9 carries, 41 yards. That's good for the freshman.
Absolutely, and that's his most extensive playing time this year. So, and for a freshman to do that with that backfield, that's pretty good. So you've got a freshman who does some really productive things, a redshirt freshman who's balling out, and Smith leads the Golden Bulls with touchdowns. He's tied for first with 5, 4 on the ground, and he beat out a couple of upperclassmen to win that starting job during preseason. And so he's just kept on going, and they obviously have a lot of depth there. Kelvin Durham, quarterback who transferred in from Fort Valley.
Almost had a 300-piece McNugget.
Well, yeah, and he was 18 of 22, so highly efficient.
But
and 4 touchdowns.
He had your infamous
interception.
Yeah, he did have the interception.
Yeah.
Didn't prove in this game to be costly.
But that's the good news. And the running game, they ran for 220 yards. Everything worked on offense. They didn't even punt, which tells you they were either scoring a touchdown, half ran out, or threw a pick. That's efficient. And the 69 points wasn't even a school record.
I saw you tweeting about that.
Yeah, the school record for points in a game is 83.
True.
And the margin of victory wasn't the largest in school history. It's the largest since 1964.
Was that against Lincoln?
No, it was against Livingstone. and that was the game with the largest margin of victory, 77 points.
I'm just giving our publisher some flack. I hope he listens to this podcast. If not, I'm be sure to send it to him.
Yeah.
But one of my takeaways here, you got 2 receivers for over 80 yards. You got some guys 40, 36, 33. The spread of wealth.
Yeah. And this is without their best receiver.
Yeah.
Brevin Caldwell has played in 1 game.
Well, and see, that was kind of my thing that I was getting to. It's like you saw some games last year where it's like you had 1 or 2 receivers with 30 or 40 yards and then 120 for Brevin. It's like the more you can spread it around, the more you can keep defenses honest. If you got one guy going for 120, you just send the safety over top, shade him, and then let the other guys play man. But if you're spreading it around, now you can't necessarily do that. And so that safety has to help off on a slot or something else. And then you can break one long. Brevin Caldwell. Why do I want to get Kelvin Durham and Brevin Caldwell? I keep wanting to get them mixed up. But at any rate, I was impressed with the offense. Now, this upcoming week's going to be a little different. A little bit different caliber opponent.
Yes, indeed. Because it's a trip to Virginia State. And I would imagine that Virginia State hasn't forgotten losing to Smith last year, 21-17.
Yeah, even though they got in the friggin' CIAA final. I will never get over that.
I know. But the best thing that Smith can do is go to Petersburg and win that game. Because right now, every game is a do or die. It's either win or go home because Smith already has 1 loss in the CIAA, the Virginia Union loss from a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, but that game counts.
It counted for Smith. It did not count for Virginia Union. I know, it's the CIAA.
This is just weird. But looking at Virginia State, coming off a pretty bad loss, 34-14 over Fayetteville State,
which is a dangerous team.
Yeah, clearly, look, I would have thought, because I looked before this week, and I would have thought that game would have been a little bit closer.
A lot closer.
I thought Fayetteville State was going to win. I ain't going to lie. I didn't think it was going to be like that, but I thought it was going to be a close game. And, you look at Fayetteville State, they're 2-3. They lost to Benedict, but they lost to UNC Pembroke, and then NC Central really bad. They beat Elizabeth City State 51-8. Now, that one is a little scary to me, just knowing that the Golden Bulls only beat Elizabeth City State 21-17.
Yeah. Well, I think that last year may have been an aberration at Fayetteville State, where they had a subpar season for them. But just looking at where they are right now, after getting off to a ho-hum start, I think they are going to be dangerous. And you know that Henry Frazier, the Virginia State coach, is going to have foot all up in his team this week and trying to get stuff worked out to where they can go out and put on a solid performance against Smith. But again, there's the emotional side of this. Are you locked in and ready to go when it comes to playing what amounts to an elimination game? Both of them have one loss in the conference. If you lose 2, you're at your limit.
Yeah.
And if there's a third loss, you are
no
totally
change.
out. So it's almost like cage matches going the rest of the way.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's going to be fun about the CIAA this year. There are a lot of good teams there. And who gets through that gauntlet is the one that's going to play in the title game. I don't know if anyone has anything for Virginia Union outside of maybe Virginia State, because that is such a big rivalry.
I think the Golden Bulls have something for them if they're lucky enough to play again.
Yeah,
I think
take care of business first.
Oh, I know, and believe me, it cost me a pee last year. But I think if they take care of their business and they get a chance to play them again, I do think that Maurice will have the right adjustments made. Am I going to say they're going to win? No, Virginia Union's a tough team, no doubt about it. Mm-hmm. But when just knowing Maurice and knowing how good of a coach he has proven himself to be, I think that he can make the right adjustments to keep that game a lot closer in round 2, assuming they can get that.
Yeah, but the first things first.
Virginia State.
You've got to take care of business there.
What's your score prediction?
Oh.
I'll give you mine. Okay. I already had it off the dome. I'm going to say 27-21 Golden Bulls.
I can see that. And to me, I might lean a little bit differently, but with the same outcome.
You think of Virginia State?
No. The same outcome.
I thought you said different win. Okay.
But in terms of the score, I think 24-17 or 21-17, just like last year.
A little bit more of a slobber knocker type.
Yeah, because I think that the thing that Smith really hasn't proven, I guess, with the Virginia Union game, opened up a window that might cause some concern, because the run game or the run defense has not necessarily been the stoutest. And I think that is the biggest difference so far between this team and last season, is that people have been able to run and they've been able to get those chunk plays a little bit more frequently than they did last year. And that defense needs to tighten up. And again, Smith is 12-1 when opponents score 17 points or fewer.
Well,
in the Maurice Flowers era.
That's just a kind of a duh statistic. I mean, when you're keeping opponents that low, unless your offense is just downright bad, you're usually going to be able to outscore them.
But that's the point. So you have to be able to maintain some scoring. You have to be able to get some points up, obviously. And then your defense has to do its job. It's complementary football. You don't have to wipe folks out. You don't have to treat everybody like Bluefield State and put 69 up. But you do need to have 21 as your base number, I guess.
Yeah.
Because 21, usually with this group under Maurice Flowers, if they get to 21 and the opposing team is going to be in a bad way. So I know that Smith has this reputation as, it's coached by an offensive-minded coach, but their success emanates from defense. And so if that defense can figure out a way to keep Virginia State in check, it'll really bode well for them, I think.
Yeah. You heading up to Petersburg?
No, because the Charlotte Post has its best banquet this weekend.
Oh, that is true.
Right here in town. And chances are very good that I will have
Gerald's
some
small role
to play in that. But I will listen in with great interest and see how that works out. Smith is 4-1 and having a great season by historic measurements of the program, but there's still that what if, and can they get to the bottom line this season as opposed to last season? And it's gonna be tough.
Yeah,
it really is. But somebody's got to get there. So
why not us? You know?
Yeah.
Well, put a bow and a nice little ribbon on top of the college talk,
Mm-hmm.
and let's end this with a brief chat about high school football, because
Yes, let's.
we do love the old high school football around here.
Mm-hmm.
Big game this week. Oh,
Another big one.
I'm looking forward to it. I know in some coaches' minds they're thinking, "Oh, this ain't no big game. We're gonna handle our business." Blah blah blah. Nah,
Are you talking about anybody in particular?
No comment.
Okay. All right.
I think this could be a really great game. Obviously, Huff still cream of the crop, but we got a number 2 versus number 3 clash inbound.
Mm-hmm.
West Charlotte Independence. Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready to get out there. The Lions have proven that they are back on the right track after stumbling early to a very good South Point team out of Rock Hill, and obviously everybody knows about Grimsley. Independence 4-1. Look, my gut tells me West Charlotte could possibly run away with this game. Unless Independence finds a way to keep their offense on the field. And what I mean is not just getting 1 or 2 first downs. I'm talking about getting 3, 4, 5 first downs a drive. Sustained offense. And look, I'm going to put a lot on the kid. I know he's a junior, first year in the program, but Jared Street's got to be a baller. Quarterback for Independence. He has got to go out there and do what I know he's capable of. I've been huge on this kid since he was a freshman at West Cabarrus in Cabarrus County. I think he is a very good leader on the field. He's got to make plays. West Charlotte's defense, everybody knows they can get after quarterbacks. They can get after, stop the run. And their defensive backs can lock up receivers. It's going to come down to can Street make the plays to keep the offense on the field. That's what's going to keep the game close. What's going to get Independence over the hump is if they're able to move the ball on the ground, which I know last year against Huff, and Huff obviously has a really good run defense, they got locked up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really going to be down to those two things. Can they sustain drives on offense by not only Jared making the right passes, but them able to get the run game going? If those two things don't happen, I just think West Charlotte's going to be able to move the ball. I'm not throwing slight on Independence's defense. They are capable of being good, but now their results and the points given up to some teams this year. You gave it 34 to Charlotte Christian. Some of the results just aren't showing that you're elite you're at least on defense. So if this game gets it to the shootout territory where it's both of teams are in the 30s, that's the way I think it's going to be a close game. But if West Charlotte's defense is able to settle in, this could be like something like a 41-17, 41-21 type game.
Ooh.
And look, I'm sure I know DJ listens to this podcast on occasion, and so I'm gonna probably get a call.
Shout out to Coach McFadden.
Yes, but that is the two scenarios that I see happening.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see a scenario where Independence is going to blow West Charlotte out? No.
Yeah, West Charlotte is pretty stout. And granted, the 2 games that they lost are the really, really good programs. And then there's also the emotional side of it again, because West Charlotte and Independence were, I guess there was the big kerfluffle last year about the game that didn't happen.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody was so excited.
Which I wrote about.
Yeah, and the game didn't happen. And both sides came off looking a little petulant there. But
slightly.
But this time around, there's no getting around it. Somebody's going to show up, and there's going to be a football game. And I think West Charlotte, again, has the defense to go all the way. And you don't need a whole lot of offense when you've got a defense that plays like that. And so it's incumbent upon Independence to generate points, whether it's through turnovers and short field position or just the offense goes off. I'm not necessarily seeing that, but if they can keep it close and maybe throw out my favorite difference maker, special teams.
Oh boy, yeah. Well,
I'm just saying that could be a path forward.
I'm gonna say 28-10. West Charlotte.
28-10, huh?
I mean, you held Mallard Creek to 9 points, and I know Mallard Creek still figuring out some things with their quarterback and getting the new guy in for. Obviously, their quarterback was injured, or their season starting quarterback was injured in week 1, so they're still kind of getting their second string guy accustomed to running the offense smoothly and things like that. So, but 32-9, I'm thinking it could be somewhere like 28-10. I mean, West Charlotte's defense is good. You got to give them, you got a hat tip to them because they have proven to be very good. I mean, you held a South Point team who, I mean, South Point aren't killers necessarily on offense, but they can put up more points than 13. So I'm just thinking their defense is the truth. And I mean, Grimsley they've only scored 28, and you go look through Grimsley's scores, they score 40 on the regular. So they deserve their props, but I'm saying 28-10 in favor of the Lions. Just, I mean, and it is at home too.
Yeah, and they are really tough at home.
Very.
I will go 35-7.
Ooh, even worse. DJ, call him. Don't call me.
I'm just saying. I mean, and I've seen Independence play in person, and I think that the thing that stands out to me with them, and I saw them play Palisades, which is a good team, and they were hitting peaks and valleys throughout the game. You can't afford a valley against West Charlotte. And so that's why I would think that the Lions are going to jump on the gas early and stay there. And you cannot afford to have peaks and valleys against an accomplished team like that. So that's why I'm thinking it may get out of hand early. I would love to see it come down to the wire, though. But if everything plays out the way that it's played out to this point in the season, yeah, there's going to be some separation. But even at that, you talk about our Magnificent Seven. There's another Magnificent Seven game.
There is indeed.
With Palisades and Ardrey-Kell.
That could be a good game.
Palisades at number 4, Ardrey-Kell at number 7. I think that is a game that's worth checking out as well. I know that Palisades and Ardrey-Kell aren't necessarily the sexy programs when it comes to this stuff, but they're
good football teams.
Yeah, they're very good teams. So I would suggest that if you can't make it out to West Charlotte, because there's going to be a crowd out there.
Oh, it's going to be huge.
Because the Independence folks travel, and West Charlotte is West Charlotte, and West Charlotte is winning.
I guess that means I need to go ahead and let Sam know I'll be there because the whole new CMS thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you might want to do that. But that is quickly through the Magnificent Seven, as Cam already started. Huff, number 1, West Charlotte, number 2, Independence 3rd, Palisades 4th. Mallard Creek, they took a step back when they got rolled by West Charlotte.
That's an appropriate step back.
Yeah.
See, you fall one. There was one time you took a team from 4th to out for losing to a team in the rankings.
We've already gone over.
Okay,
that.
all right.
But the size of the loss, you're gonna get penalized for losing. I don't care who you are. You're gonna get penalized, but it's just degrees of how bad things happen.
32-9, pretty bad.
Yeah, well, but Mallard Creek is 5th. Myers Park, I think, is maybe the surprise group in there.
They're good.
And my friends over at Ardrey-Kell are at 7th, but I think Myers Park has been surprisingly good. So that's the Magnificent Seven.
And they get Garinger this week. Poor Wildcats.
Yeah, poor Wildcats. But at any rate, that's our Magnificent Seven. And that's enough of football for this particular podcast.
It's a lot of ball.
Lots of ball. So go out and check out a game. It's starting to feel like fall
It was brisk this morning, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it's going to be football weather. So go out and support the kids, whether, no matter where they happen to be. And so we're going to close this particular episode of Sports Charlotte with a plea for your support. Go to our website, thecharlottepost.com, become a subscriber to the publication, either good old-fashioned print or the digital version of the publication. You can also subscribe to our sports newsletter. It comes out every Thursday, curated by moi. Or you can become a donor and support our work because it makes you feel good. It gets us the resources that we need to continue the journalism that you are consuming. It's free for you to access, but it isn't free to produce. We need your help. Help us out. We'd appreciate it. When you go to our YouTube page and check out Sports Charlotte Podcast, like the YouTube page.
Subscribe to the YouTube page.
We do whatever you come up with. We do appreciate it. And of course, check us out on Queen City Podcast Network, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it, you'll find us there. And so for everybody here in beautiful Derrida, that's Cam, I'm Herb. Thanks for watching and listening.